Today, I will be using a full team of Pokemon based on characters from Amphibia. If you have an idea for a Pokemon team, be sure to comment below, and I will use it. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's get right into the battles. Happy Pride Month, lovely people. Today I am using an Amphibia team. Big special thank you to Harley Hollis for the team idea. Sorry that it took me so long to upload it, but I wanted to save this video for Pride Month. So if you didn't know, this entire month of June, I'm going to be doing Pokemon teams based on LGBTQ series, or series that have LGBTQ rep in them. So for example, Amphibia obviously has Sasha, and Sasha is a canonically bisexual character. So if you have any LGBTQ series, cartoons, video games, or whatever, feel free to comment them below. I'll be doing them for this entire month. So I had that Choice Scarf Sprig, and I completely destroyed that Iron Thorn. So I'm going to bring in my Hot Pop here versus the Moltres. Now, unfortunately, there weren't any, like, red or pink frog Pokemon whatsoever, unless you count Heatran, but, like, I don't count Heatran as a frog. And so I had to go with Politoed for that, which completely destroys the Moltres with the Hydro Pump. Now, in comes Moltres' brother here, Zapdos. I had to pivot around this as best as I possibly could. So into my Decidueye here for Marcy. This is a defensive Decidueye. This is my default Pokemon on this team, but I'm gonna swap out in case the Zapdos has Hurricane into Sasha here. I'm going with Oricorio Pom-Pom just because, you know, she's a cheerleader. But I took way too much damage from that Discharge. They went for Discharge versus my Decidueye, which is interesting. So I'm just gonna get off my chip damage versus Revelation versus the Zapdos with the Revelation dance. And down goes my Oricorio, but you'll see more of Sasha in the next battle, trust me. So back into my Sprig here, I was like, okay, well, it's raining at the moment, so my Surf is going to be super powered up. I had Damp Rock on my Politoed, which I was running a rain team on this actually. So Choice Scarf Surf in the rain is going to destroy that Zapdos, and in comes Latios. So I had to swap out here. I was like, well, nothing really is gonna want to take a hit from this Latios, and I needed to preserve all of my rain turns on my Politoed. So I swapped in my Decidueye, which takes a lot of damage from that Dragon Pulse. I have Terra Fairy on this set, which I honestly debated on going for just to be cheeky, but they went for Luster Purge, and that's gonna take out Marcy, unfortunately. Man, if I went for the Terra that turn, that would have been such a waste. So I had a U-Turn, Roost Defog, and Spirit Shackle on that. I didn't have a Grass move. So into Anne, my Yanma. You might be thinking, why is Anne Yanma? Well, I mean, if you watch the series, there was this episode, there's season 2 episode, Battle of the Bands, where she had a Dragonfly costume on, you know, and she called herself Dragonfly. Like, that's such a good name. Like, how could I not make her Yanma after that amazing pun? Now, I'm gonna swap out versus that Terrakion. I was honestly worried that this Terrak would have Rock Blast. I'm running a Focus Sash on that Yanma. I'll go more into that in a second, but they have Stone Edge, and they missed my Stone Edge, so I was like, okay, well, I have a free switch in at the very least, but I wasn't gonna take a hit from this thing at all, so I'm gonna get taken out by the close combat from the Terrakion. So there goes my Politoed, but I have the rain set up at the very least, and I'm gonna swap into my Poliwag. Oh my gosh, Poliwag. So this is a crazy set. This is a Belly Drum Poliwag. The Liquidation takes out the Terrakion. Holy smokes. So this Pokemon has Swift Swim, which is going to double its speed in the rain, and the Liquidations in the rain, they're not a joke. Now, this is a crazy set. I have Terra Blast Ghost on this, and I have a Liquidation and Low Kick and Belly Drum with the Citrus Berry, because you know I need my health back because I'm such a bulky Pokemon, right? So the Latios is gonna Terra. I was like, well, usually Latios terrestrializes like Steel or Electric, but it's gonna be Terra Psychic Latios. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. My Terra Blast Ghost is gonna, you know, it's still gonna do super effective damage versus this Latios. So I'm gonna go for that Terra Blast, a max attack Adamant Nature on this Poliwag, and I outspeed, and the Terra Blast does so much damage, but unfortunately it misses out of the KO. And yeah, Terra Psychic Luster Purge is going to absolutely send me hacking. So you know, there goes my Poliwag, but Poliwag did a lot of damage versus that Latios, and it also got some crucial KO versus that Terrakion. So it was now high time for me to send in Anne. So this is a Focus Sash Yanma with Speed Boost, which is a very useful ability. And I'm running a Swords Dance on this. This is a physically sweeping Yanma. So I'm going to tank that Luster Purge on 1 health thanks to my item. So I was like, well, I probably don't want to set up the Swords Dance here. I'm just going to go for the Lunge and take out the Latios with the crit, which definitely matter. And the the Pokemon that I was really worried about in the back was Urshifu, because I didn't know if it was Dark or the Water Urshifu, and I didn't know if it had like priority, if it was Sucker Punch or Aqua Jet. So in comes the Urshifu, and it's gonna be Urshifu Single Strike. So I was like, okay, well, they don't have Sucker Punch. I'm able to reversal the Urshifu, and I take out the Urshifu with the reversal. What the heck? Was not expecting a KO on that from Bull. That's crazy. That's the end of the first game. Man, Ann and Sprig put in so much work that game. So into the second game now. I'm gonna lead off with Sprig once again. So there's another Zapdos, by the way. I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam versus this Zapdos. I was like, I really don't have a lot. Like I said, I don't have a lot of switch-ins to this demon. This team was very problematic to use. I got a lot of losses with this team, but like the problem with this team was that it really didn't have much to pivot or switch into. I'm gonna take out the Zapdos with the Ice Beam, which is nice. So there goes that Pokemon. Man, this Choice Scarf Frogadier is actually a really useful Pokemon. It like being able to get that protein stab is really nice, considering like I could just click whatever. So this was a problem Pokemon. I swapped into my Decidueye here on the Earth Power from this Gastrodon. Now, I'm not actually running a Grass type move, so I was wondering if the Gastrodon would even swap versus me, but they stay in. Wow, that's a crazy stay in. What if I had a Leaf Blade? So I'm gonna U-turn out versus the Gastrodon. So I was like, well, I might as well set up my Rain here with my Politoed, see if I can mitigate this Gastrodon. So the Gastrodon is gonna go for the Ice Beam versus me. I was like, okay, that's annoying, but like at the very least, I have Encore on the set. I have Encore. This is an offensive Politoed. I'm running Encore, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Earth Power with Terra Dragon as my defensive Terra. So I locked the Gastrodon into the Ice Beam, and I was like, well, I stopped it from using any like recovery, but like locking it into Ice Beam is probably not the best idea. Like obviously, I'm trying to prevent it from setting up like spikes or stealth rock, but it's gonna continuously go for the Ice Beam as I Ice Beam. It's like an Ice Beam war at the moment, and then I get frozen. I was like, oh my gosh. Well, you know what? I kind of expected that to happen. So Hot Pop is basically a Hot Popsicle at the moment, and the Gastrodon is gonna get more leftovers recovery. So I was like, the only Pokemon that I have versus this, like, to really, like, reliably KO it is my Grass Knot on my Frogadier, which is what I swap into, because I was like, well, I should be able to barely live an Ice Beam, but they swap out their Gastrodon into Serena. I was like, oh, shoot. Well, I do have Ice Beam to threaten it, but I don't KO it from full, and I really needed my Frogadier just for the Gastrodon KO. So I'm going to swap in my Decidueye, but then they swap in their Serena, and then the Muck comes in. I was like, well, this is also a bad matchup for me because I don't want to take a knockoff, and I barely threaten this Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck is a very threatening Pokemon. It can be super bulky, and it does a lot of damage with its dual stabs. So I'm going to swap in my Yanma here. My Yanma wasn't really looking like super great in this game, unfortunately, so I had to swap it in versus a knockoff, and I get Poison Touch, so I was like, oh, well, I should be able to barely live the poison at the very least. I might be able to get off a very powerful reversal. I'm running a Swords Dance, Reversal, Lunge, and Terra Blast Ground on this, actually. So I didn't really want to waste my Terra, though, just because of the fact that I'm like hiccuping at the moment. Oh my gosh. I didn't want to waste my Terra on this because I thought that there was another Terra option that I could use, potentially. So the Muck is going to take me out with the Drain Punch. So there goes my Ann. But, you know, I'm really proud of Ann's performance in the last battle. It went super nicely. So I was like, well, I need to take out this Alolan Muck because it's a very big problem for this team, and it has Black Sludge as a recovery. So I was like, well, I should be able to take it out with my Liquidation from this Poliwag. So I'm going to go for that Liquidation, and it takes out the Alolan Muck. The Poliwag is getting another KO under its belt. This Pokemon is such a threat. So the rain is going to stop. So I was like, well, I kind of have to swap out versus this Serena. Yeah, this Pokemon could easily threaten me with any kind of grass move whatsoever. But I do have my max defense not Politoed, oh my god, my max defense Decidueye, which can be able to take whatever hits this Serena throws at me. The only thing that I was threatened by was if this Pokemon had knockoff or triple axle, which could obviously hit me super effectively, but they swap out. So I was like, okay, well, like I just went for the Spirit Shackle. You know, Marcy is like an archer, right? So like I thought this was a must include move for this Pokemon. I missed the animation from Sun and Moon though, when it actually like you know, it actually had that animation where it looked like it was firing an arrow, but I don't know why they changed it. It looks terrible now. I hate it. So the Gastrodon is gonna get that leftovers recovery. So I was like, well, obviously, like I said, I don't have a grass move, so I kind of have to U-turn out, and I'm gonna U-turn into my Sprig into Frogadier here, because I want to get that grass knot KO. I wanna hopefully have this Gastrodon stay in and get KO'd so that it could open up one of my other Pokemon in the back. Because I knew that this Pokemon was probably like specially defensive from the looks of it. So they're gonna get more leftovers recovery. I was like, please stay in. And they do stay in. I was like, yes, yes, this is great. And they don't have a Rindo Berry, which is nice. So the Grass Knot is going to take out the Gastrodon. That was actually a great KO. So there goes the Gastrodon. And I was like, okay, that's really nice. That actually opens up one of my Pokemon in the back like crazy. And you're about to see it in a moment. So Dragon Ball comes in. Didn't have a switch into this Pokemon at all. I could have sacked by a Politoed, all things considered, but I'm just gonna stay in and get some Grass Knot chip versus it, and I'm gonna get taken out by the Dragon Darts. So the stage is set for my Oricorio in the back, for Sasha to finally come in and redeem herself. Because last game, I really didn't expect a discharge. So this is a Quiver Dance Oricorio. This Pokemon, by the way, is so underrated. Like, fun fact, while doing battles for this team, I got my first ever 6-0 on lead matchup, and I was like, wow, that's the first time that's happened to me, you know? Like, that's actually quite an accomplishment. I guess that shows I'm improving. I don't know. But I do get, I do still get scraped, though. So, Hurricane misses versus the Volcarona, but then the Volcarona goes for Quiver Dance. I was like, wait, that's actually really good because of my ability. So, Oricorio's ability is Dancer. And basically what that does, it copies the opponent's dance moves, which means that I'm going to copy that Quiver Dance boost, and I'm going to get another Quiver Dance. So it's like I used 2 moves in one turn. So I was like, wow, that's actually really nice. I'm now +2 in special attack speed and special defense. And I'm going to go for that Hurricane and take out the Volcarona. I'm running Revelation Dance with Terra Ground, which will change the type of Revelation Dance to Ground type in case I needed it. I'm going to land another Hurricane versus the Dragon Ball, and that gets taken out too. By the way, I ran Oricorio over like Scizor or like Bisharp just because I wanted to use Oricorio. I thought it fit her more like a cheerleader. I land 3 Hurricanes in a row outside of rain, and that's going to take out the Sarita, and that's going to be the end of both games. Super short video for this week, but man, Oricorio is such a good Pokemon. I really enjoyed using this team. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is SkyLaaa. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all next time.